Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Share this thing out. Hit that like as well. And if you're subscribed up, make sure that you've also turned on all notifications so you don't miss a live just like this, folks. Thank you. We are coming.
Let's rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Feral Friday with Publicly Buzzed Live. We have a banger here for you tonight, folks. I know you guys were already here because you were just hanging out with Mr. Bob Motta from Defense Diaries over on his channel. But yeah, there's a lot going on right now in Delphi, folks, and we're going to be going into it. Yeah, let me get everybody over here right now. We've got also Jay joining us. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I hit the right thing. Boom. What's up, brothers?
What's up, brother?
Yo, what is up, Steve-O?
Not much. Not
Jay
much.
Bird.
What's up,
What's up?
Bobo?
I haven't seen you in it seems like months.
It's been
It's been like 4 hours.
all right.
Well, yeah, we see each other every single day, but October for Publicly Buzzed was a whole lot of fucking fun. We were just basically goofing off the entire month. My birthday month. That's what I took.
The way to do it,
I mean,
man.
I can relate to that. I do the same shit, man. You know, I like to think my birthday's a national holiday. It is in my mind. You know,
that's how I do it as well, man. Everybody here tonight, thank y'all so much. Appreciate the shit out of it. Please like this thing as you come through. Share this out as well. Let people know on Twitter, on Facebook, in your communities that you're hanging out with Publicly Buzzed, The Shaming of Jay, and Defense Diaries tonight, guys. But yeah, man, I saw you was just over there already going crazy on all this shit in Delphi, which is fucking endless, dude. It's coming out by the day, by the hour sometimes.
it's fucking exhausting, dude.
Yeah, one thing I have to do, I need to pop this chat out. Let me do that for you.
Let's see what's going on.
1
Mods,
second.
block Holly Berry. I don't like her tone in
What
the
is she
chat
doing
already.
She talking shit.
Yeah, she's talking shit already, Holly Berry.
She's a giver, though. She's a giver,
She's
though.
the best, man. She's amazing.
She's great, dude. She's great.
Raul is here. What's up, Raul?
There we go. Now we got it set up. Now we got it. There we go.
There's
Aw,
Babe.
Shannon,
there's
what's
our girl.
up? Coming through
There's our
here.
girl.
Hell yeah.
Love you, Shans.
Everybody hanging out. Appreciate it. Yeah, oh, and we just got yelled at by Allie. She had to pop in the back door. She's like, what the fuck are you guys even doing right now?
Yeah, we were trying to figure out, how to make this a nice, smooth stream, super entertaining for y'all, informative, all the good shit back there.
All the good shit.
And Steve was smoking a huge bong, but aside from that, it was all work. It was all work other than that.
Hey, that's work too now.
Indeed.
Yo, Kaylin, and before we really get jamming here, I do want to say, Kaylin, I got your emoji in there. I'm going to pop that in real quick.
About time. It's about time.
Boom.
Hey,
huh?
she's teeny.
Let me see if I can get a little bit. Boom.
Hey.
Boom.
Love it. I love
Got
it.
a smoking bombshell in the emojis now. Thank you very much, Kaylin, for that.
Bombshells. All right.
But yeah, man, what the fuck is going on with this judge in Delphi, dude? Judge Gull, who has kind of run amok and is going kind of crazy right now, and I basically thinks she's above the law, essentially.
It seems like it.
And she's going to have to answer to the Supreme Court justices in Indiana now. So this is getting now. Here's something I have a question out the gate for. All I see online is everyone that wants to, I mean, there's a lot of whether you want to use the term devil's advocate or whatever. They're on the complete opposite side, or they think the defense is being, lying blatantly, or just being nefarious in the words that they're picking or what they're saying. But I mean, come on, man. We are at the point now to where the judge is going to have to actually answer to some of this bullshit. There was not even a hearing for when she got rid of the fucking defense team, Rozzi and Baldwin. Like,
right.
So what the fuck is this bitch actually doing?
What a question. What a question. Right out the gate on Feral Friday.
I love that question. I mean, look, it's like the one thing that people need to understand, like we're not even close to the innocent or guilt phase here. We're not even talking about that. We're trying to work our way to that. And, what we have going on is we've got a judge that I consider to have gone rogue at this point. Because, look, man, typically a docket is supposed to be a guide map to a case. You're supposed to be able to open the docket and say, okay, I see something was filed on such and such a date. Boom, I want to see what they filed. And you can hit it, and it opens the document. And you can read it and find out what's going on in the case. What Gull's been doing from the PCA, when for whatever reason she decided after they arrest this guy to seal the probable cause affidavit so none of us could see what evidence they had to arrest this guy, Richard Allen. And, it took her months to open that thing up and let us see. And when she did, I'm like, why did she seal this? Because like sealing a document when trials are supposed to be public for a reason, and it's for transparency and accountability. That's why they're public. We need to know what's going on in the courts in this country. And, there's very specific things that have to be shown by the judge or by affiants for them to be able to seal documents. Now, if it's dealing with kids under 18, like minors, they're going to seal all that stuff because they want to protect the kids.
That makes sense.
And they want to protect their identities. If you have a situation where they're concerned about witnesses being harmed, they may seal documents, or they'll typically redact the witnesses' names to protect them. Law enforcement, if they're concerned about law enforcement, being in danger, that could potentially be something that they would seal documents for. Whatever the case may be, it's a high bar in order to keep things sealed off from the public. And the thing that Gull wasn't doing at all is she was sealing things with no explanation, left and right. And then towards the end, she just started telling the clerk, hey, that thing that Rozzi filed, not only are we sealing it, we're removing it entirely from the docket like it never existed. She can't do that. It's in violation of the law. So, most recently what happened is they filed a petition for writ of mandamus and prohibition. And that's just an old-timey language for basically asking the higher court to direct the lower court to do something that they've either violated the law or that they need to fix. So that's basically, back. Yeah,
she's gotten rid of.
So that's what's going on. So that first writ that was filed was basically relating to the docket. They were saying, look, you need to fix this docket. She did this thing where she dropped 100 of the 118 documents that she had sealed for no reason whatsoever, and then drops them all, but doesn't drop them into the docket. And then she creates some weird website, which I really had a hard time opening the documents.
I heard you talking about that. Like,
yeah,
you go through a bunch of different portals to get to it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I had to take a space shuttle to Mars.
Did you have to answer questions from a troll? 3 questions?
yeah, under a bridge. But like I had to ask Allison. I'm like, hey, I'm having a hard time opening these documents. She's like, okay, she made it happen for me, but it's not supposed to be that. But moreover, what happened is she actually made it so that all of those appeared to be filed on the same date, which I think was June 23rd of 2023. So like typically, like say Allison and I are in a case, we're filing a motion to suppress. Allie files it electronically. It goes to the clerk. It gets file stamped. And that's the date that it's filed. And it matters for the appellate record, because when it goes up to like if Richard Allen were to be convicted and he were to appeal this, all the appellate court can go by is the record. They're not calling the defendant.
Yeah, and she's
They're not
fucking with it.
She's fucking with it. She's making it impossible for there to be an appellate record. So I saw Catch Lisk's question. She has to know. I mean, she has to know. Like I don't know if she's just gone. Like I don't know what made her think that she could do it.
Does she not realize that the internet is watching like intently now? Like times have changed, bro. And then like another good question: what else has this lady done in the past that needs to be looked at now? Like,
was that Teresa? Was that criminality? I didn't see. It flashed up. Throw it back up. Is that what she said?
No, she just was saying, I didn't know Gull lives under a bridge.
Oh yeah, that's my girl Teresa from Criminality. Another great.
But right here, I wonder if she's always been this way. It's coming from Spicy Cat.
So could I just say something here? Because me and Steve actually, I don't think you watched this trial, Bob, but me and Steve watched this trial. Becky Beliefnick, do you remember, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
And it was about we were going into. I was going crazy because the Judge Adrian, who handled that case, was, and this seems to be similar to Delphi in that small town, everyone knows each other, and there seems to be some shady things going on. So like Judge Adrian in that case handled the divorce of the person who, it was a murder trial. The husband, murders the wife and they got divorced. He handles the divorce case. He also handles the murder trial. Also, his wife is Facebook friends with the defense counsel. So this is all kind of like stirring this up to me because I was losing my mind. I'm like, how is this okay? Because I see all these posts on Delphi now where it seems like a lot of people in a small town are interconnected. And I was like, why are there not some sort of measures, like get someone else from another town? If these people are connected, and everyone would just be yelling at me, well, it's a small town, this happens. And,
and that's kind of what's going on in fucking...
Right, and what do you expect? Judges can't just have friends now that they're... And I'm like, if someone's life is on the line, maybe they shouldn't be dealing with what's going on. And but to your point, Steve, why I'm bringing this up is how long has this stuff been going on? For years and years and years. And just now that people are following this stuff and tweeting it out, all of a sudden it's being brought to the light. So I'm curious, Bob. So obviously, Bob, this has been going on all the time, but there's no measures that people can have these relationships and a judge can handle a case that they're Facebook friends with a prosecutor or a defense counsel or anyone involved, but they could just have connections and that's just okay. And we're just supposed to be okay with it.
Be okay with it.
I want to show this real quick. This is
from
Sleuthy saying right here. Look at this. The new attorney, William Labrado, is Facebook friends with a whole lot of fucking people, including Judge Francis Gull.
Yeah.
Literally what you were just saying. I mean, the internet is bringing this shit out pretty fucking rampant right now. Like,
yeah. And look, like I'll just tell you like a quick story. So, I ran into, because like we're in the suburbs of Chicago, relatively small community. And I was out, I think Allie and I were both out for dinner and drinks one night at a bar, and a judge who had just got on the bench, who was a friend of mine, and I was like, oh, hey, Your Honor, how's it going? I was like, I'd like to buy you a drink. And she was like, no, it's like, I can't accept a drink from you because that would be almost like somebody could say that you're trying to curry favor with me. So you have to take it seriously. You can't do that. I mean, that's why judge can, they'll conflict themselves out if they have a relationship, if they represented somebody in the past. I mean, if they work with an attorney all the time. And what Sleuthy was talking about, this Labrado has got me worried. This is like, so when she removed without due process, without a hearing, an evidentiary hearing, she removed Richard Allen's two attorneys that he wanted, that were the two guys that had been fighting for his life for the last year. And she just removed them without the benefit of having a hearing, and made this plot, this proclamation that she's made a finding that they have, that they've represented him in a grossly negligent manner, which is a huge thing for a judge to say to two attorneys that have combined 50 years of practice and have never had a substantiated bar complaint. I mean, like, that's career threatening type stuff when you have a judge say that you're gross. I mean, imagine that. Like you've been building your career for 25 years. And then there's going to be all these the people out there. Oh, well, they leaked it. We don't know what they did because the judge didn't have a hearing. That's the problem with this. Like the people are like, yeah, she shouldn't have been. She wasn't being kind. You know, that's what this fight is right now. Everybody, including myself, is trying to get copies of the audio. Sleuthie and I sent an email to the judge, to the county clerk, because they have an act there that we can get public access to the records. And we requested a hearing. I wanted to come in and listen to the audio of the in chambers because I want to know what went on. I don't think Brad Rozzi is lying about what went on that day. And I'm tired of people sitting here casting shade on defense attorneys and acting like judges and prosecutors are always beyond reproach, because they're not. That's a ridiculous concept. I don't know why people think that they can cast shade on a defense attorney and that you know, that prosecutors and judges are just untouchable. That's not how it works. You know, so I want to get down there and I want to listen to it. And the judge actually emailed us back this morning saying, sorry, those documents or the recordings are private and confidential. So naturally we had to, we're going to follow up with, okay, well, that's, you know, according to Rule 6 of the state rules, you've got to tell us why they're private and confidential. Like, you recorded.
She wants to keep everything secret. Like,
she's
that's not how this fucking works.
This is it's like some Star Chamber shit.
That's not how this works.
Like, if you're old enough to know what Star Chamber is, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, it's like an old movie from the early 80s about like some crazy super secret judge shit where they're killing people. It's an extreme, but like, she's doing things like she's gone rogue. Like, I mean, she's been doing this a long time. She was a prosecutor before she was on the bench. She knows how it works. She knows what she should be doing. She knows what she shouldn't be doing. And she's creating an issue that goes far beyond, because when you're talking about the removal of these two guys, look, if she had the hearing and they had an investigation that was done independently, not by the same cops who have a vested interest in getting the guy that is in custody convicted, because that's their case. You can't have those guys investigating the leak, because they're going to make it appear that the defense attorneys did it, because they don't want these guys on the case, because these guys are fighting zealously for this guy. These guys are fighting like a couple of lawyers that actually believe that this guy is innocent. This is what it looks like when defense attorneys have a client that they believe is truly innocent. If I were in prison, if any of you were in prison, just try to put yourself in the place where, like, just in a world where you pretend that you're actually innocent and that you volunteered information that you were on the bridge that the day that something horrible happened to two girls. And all of a sudden, 5 years later, you're coming home from work and they just come and pick you up, throw you in jail 23 hours a day. They say, we are arresting you for double homicide. Here it was felony murder. And like, that's a whole different conversation. They couldn't even charge him with first degree murder. They had to charge him with felony murder, which means during the commission of another felony that the girls died. So it's a different, that's why they can't go for the death penalty in this case, because it's felony murder. So they have to go with death or life without the possibility of parole.
That was actually one of my questions.
Yeah. So sorry, dude, but I mean, look,
that was perfect.
My whole point is that there's due process of the law. I'm not even arguing about innocence or guilt. I'm arguing.
We're not even there. We can't fucking get
there.
No,
we're close
like,
to
Jesus
it.
Christ.
We can't even get a suppression hearing heard because the woman won't set a hearing date. It's like everything's been going on with it is crazy in my estimation, and that's just my opinion. You can take it or you can leave it. No one's changing my opinion on it. Period. So
at this point, what would it take to get her off this? Is it going to take the Supreme Court getting in there and telling her what the fuck's up?
Yeah. So like that first writ was filed. I have a pretty good feeling that they're going to file another writ. They're going to file a writ to stay the trial, to stall it. while this thing gets litigated to reappoint the lawyers that Richard Allen wants to be his lawyers that are fighting for his life. I mean, that's the point that
that's fucked up too. I mean,
well, that's the thing that I was starting to say, like where I was giving you the scenario that we get snatched off the street, we're thrown in jail, and then we get a couple of, but we don't have money, right? So they appoint a couple lawyers. You get lucky. They appoint a couple of guys that are in private practice. They're paying them money, 2 different practices, private attorneys, and these guys really dig in, like private attorneys that have the time, that are getting paid, and then they realize that you're innocent, and so they start fighting like hell. And then all of a sudden something happens right at the apex, like the timing, how everything went down is very, very, very convenient for the state and for Tony Liggett. Because if you remember, the Franks hearing is basically a hearing where they're saying, yo, we believe that based on the evidence that Tony Liggett came in front of the judge, lied about what these witnesses said in order to get the warrant to search Richard Allen's home. And that's what a Franks hearing is. A Franks hearing is basically where you're trying to suppress the evidence based on the fact that they got a warrant based on false or misleading information from law enforcement, the affiant. So like that never got heard. It never got heard. And then instead of it getting heard, then the information about like, oh, the crazy memo with the odious prison guards, and then the state files their response, and they say, oh yeah, actually those prison guards were wearing Odin patches.
It just keeps actually adding up. Like everything that everyone on the sidelines.
It wasn't that crazy, So
everyone on the sidelines is saying, this is crazy. This is not going to come back around. Everything is starting to come back around in this.
Yeah, I just try they're not going to make things up. Like these 2 guys that have been practicing collectively 50 years are not going to make up lies. Like they're not trying to get disbarred. You know what I mean?
Here.
They're not like, it's like there's always going to be the ability to be able to interpret evidence differently. I mean, that's the nature of any case. You have the prosecution interprets it one way, the defense interprets it another way, which could be the case with the crime scene photos. The prosecution saying, oh, well, I think it's just sticks on top of the girls to hide them. And the defense is looking at it and saying, well, no, it doesn't appear to be just sticks. It appears that they were placed in a certain fashion, and then they can substantiate it with this whole Purdue professor thing, which clearly the state was trying to hide that happened.
Yeah.
And then they figure out who the guy is. And they figure out what he actually said, and that he went to the, it's just like, it's like an ongoing thing where it's one thing after another with this case where, at the end of the day, what we care about, and I say it every single stream, is justice for Abby and Libby. And it's being thwarted. And it's not by the defense guys. I promise you.
Could I ask you this?
I promise you. Yeah.
Regarding the badges, because someone, I saw that comment. How was that any different than if we found out that in the Adelson case, a couple of judges had Latin King patches and like they were treating him differently? How is that different? Why would you be allowed to have a patch on your uniform that could potentially represent you treating someone in there different than someone else? Why would that be allowed at all? Like, how is that different than if they had Latin King patches? Like, is that any different than that? Like, why would that be allowed?
Well, imagine if they had 2 guards in there that had Latin King patches, and they went to Charlie Adelson and said, all right, dude, you're going to confess to fucking to hiring the hitman, or I'm going to kill Donna and Wendy.
Right.
So he gets on the prison phone and says, Mom, I got to let you know, I hired the hitman. I mean, that's what the defense is suggesting, because they didn't have an opportunity to have Richard Allen say it to them, because these guards were filming them with the camcorder every time they were there with their client. But I mean, you don't have to, like, and people that have never dealt with a prison, which I hope that most of you have not. Allison and I have obviously been in prisons many, many, many times. We know how they operate. We've had clients that have been in there. And for anybody to think that kind of thing cannot happen or does not happen in a prison is being a bit naive, because it happens all the time in prison. And when you've got a case where you've got two young, beautiful girls that lost their lives, and this is the guy that is accused of doing it, just alone with guards, without bringing in the Odinism stuff, just like that fact alone, if they think that he's a child killer, the inmates are going to hate him and the guards are going to hate him. Even before trial, they don't care about due process in prison, which is why he shouldn't be in prison. He should be in a jail awaiting trial. But,
That's
I mean,
I say that's the craziest part, but it's not even the craziest part.
like, right, dude, it's like, fuck? It's never ending crazy. It's never ending crazy.
Yeah. It's fucked up, man. And at some point in time, I mean, something's going to have to give though. But as of right now, man, it looks like that at least Rozzi is not going to take this laying the fuck down. And whatever happened that day in the chambers seemed to be complete fucking bullshit. Like, I don't think even what they're saying, like what she's saying, right? They back there in the actual chambers. Oh, they've decided to step down. No, Rozzi sure as hell didn't, right? He's like fighting this thing tooth and nail. The whole thing was literally a lie right there to everybody. Or she's going to, make them look like assholes in front of everybody.
I mean, that was the thing. That's exactly what the thing was. And there's two camps here. There's the camp that's like, okay, these guys, whether it was reckless or intentional, and I take umbrage with that because there's a massive difference. If Baldwin would have intentionally leaked the photographs, that's a completely different thing than some guy that worked in his office for years, betrayed his trust, snuck in there and took pictures and then leaked them months later. That's a completely different thing than Andy Baldwin saying, hey, man, come here, bro. I want to give you these pictures. I need you to slip them out to some people. I want them to get out to the public, which never would happen. Well, I've heard this argument that they're doing it so that they can try to show the public that what they were saying in the memo about the runes is true. The problem with that theory is that included in those photographs are the bodies of the girls, which if you ask any defense attorney anywhere that's ever handled a murder case, that is absolutely ridiculous, because the last thing that we ever want to get out to the public are photographs of the victims, because all it does is incite the public to call for whoever they have under arrest's head, because they think the guy's a monster. It's like it's completely implausible that they would do that. They would be submarining their case. They wouldn't be bolstering their case. So that concept I reject completely, just because it doesn't make any sense. It's not how it works. We fight to keep those out. We fight to try to limit those photographs being shown at trial, because they inflame the jury. They're more prejudicial than probative is the argument. That's the instruction, or that's the objection. So, to think that would be the case, to me, is obscene. And I personally, yes, I'm biased in terms of the fact that I am a criminal defense attorney, but I take umbrage with the fact that people just seem to be able to cast shade on defense attorneys.
That's a pretty
no
regular
problem
thing.
with no problem. But everyone takes giant offense if anybody suggests that a prosecutor is doing something untoward. That's crazy.
Bullshit.
They take the exact same oath that we do. They work for the government. We work for the people. It's backwards. Yeah. Everybody should be rooting for the defense attorneys, because forget about that we're representing the bad guy. What we're doing is we're protecting the Constitution, because most of the time things are pled out. Most of the time, like 97% of cases do not go to trial. So that is the reality of jurisprudence in this country. Like, the concept that everything is going to trial is completely wrong. That's just not factual. Most of the time, cops do their jobs well. They have the evidence. The criminal screwed up, and they plead out on it and they go to prison. That's most of the time. When you get the cases where the cops break the law, they violate the Constitution, they violate somebody's Fourth Amendment rights, you have a defense attorney who says, okay, well, I have to protect the Fourth Amendment as to all of us. Okay. It's the wall that separates us, the citizens, from the government and from them ruling us. This becoming a fascist society. We have to have the Constitution. It's our last line of defense. We are the last line of defense, literally, against government tyranny. And I'm not being dramatic about it. That we're literally the only people on the planet that defend the principles of the Constitution. So when we file a motion to suppress, to try to keep something, a violation of the law from going unpunished. And the punishment just happens to be, okay, Mr. Police Officer who did a warrantless search without probable cause, without seeing anything in plain sight, you violated the Constitution. So unfortunately, we're going to have to take that piece of evidence that you collected illegally, and we're going to have to remove it from the case. It's suppressed. Typically, it's the main piece of evidence that caused the person to get arrested, which means that that person walked. Don't blame the defense attorney. Don't blame the criminal. Blame the cop for not following the law. If the cop would have done the law right, we don't have a motion to suppress to file. It's that simple. Without teeth, then the thing doesn't matter. Then they're doing whatever they want. If we don't file the motions, then cops are kicking our doors in.
It's easy. Oh, sorry, but it's easy for that ball to get down the hill pretty fast too.
Dude, snowball, it's very super slippery slope, man.
Yeah, every single day on Twitter, on Reddit, on the internet, we're seeing fucking dumb-ass cops who don't even know the law themselves, quite frankly. I was watching, it was in New York, and it was outside of a park. It was just yesterday on Twitter, but this dude was getting arrested for smoking a cigarette outside of the park. And the people that were filming them were basically asking the cops, who have made a big giant circle around this man while they're frisking him and arresting him. And he's saying, what the hell's going on? I will admit that I didn't see the beginning of the video. I don't know how it got escalated to that part, but they're filming him and they're asking the police, like, what's going on? Why are you arresting this man? And he said, I was just smoking a cigarette. The guy, and I can't say what he said verbatim, but the cop that is actually addressing the person with the camera is just talking out of the side of his fucking head, just talking out of his ass. So, I mean, and I've seen tons of these all over the country that cops don't know the law that they're supposed to be actually enforcing. Right. And it's scary as fuck, dude.
I mean, and they just have a lot of power, and I don't want anybody to think that I love good cops. I mean,
I'm pro cop. Yeah.
Dude, we need them. That is a thankless, incredibly hard job, and everybody hates them right now. So, like, you double that on top of the fact that they have an incredibly dangerous, thankless job. I love good cops, and they're absolutely mandatory for our society to continue to roll, man. So we need them. That being said, as much as I love good cops, that's how much I hate bad cops.
Absolutely.
But I hate bad lawyers too. I hate bad defense attorneys. I hate bad prosecutors. I hate bad judges. I hate bad doctors. I hate bad teachers. Like, I mean, there's bad in every profession. That's the bottom line, so my whole thing is, I'm going to base the people on their character individually as opposed to a group, but the problem with cops is those guys have a massive amount of power with that badge and that gun, so it's one of those things where you just have to, like I always say it, our primary job is to defend the principles of the Constitution is 1A, and then 1B is to police the police, which is really part of 1A, because we're making sure when we're looking at the warrants or we're looking at the police reports, we're looking at the probable cause, we are checking to see if they violated the Constitution. That's the entire purpose of the exercise. That is what defense attorneys do on the front end of a case. If the cops did it right, we don't have anything to file. It's that simple. If they did it wrong, we file. And then you don't point the finger at the defense attorney saying, oh, some scumbag defense attorney got him off on a technicality. You point the finger at the cop and say, do your job right. Follow the law, because then Absolutely. We don't have an issue. It's that simple. I mean, I can't break it down any other way.
I love the way you break it down.
I mean, but it's the absolute truth.
Absolutely.
I'm not putting a spin on it. I'm not talking in lawyer talk. It's that simple, so and I've been preaching this for 2.5 years. I think I've turned a lot of people the other way around in terms of how they think about defense attorneys.
Yeah, but I want to go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, Jay, dude. Please interrupt, man.
I want to just know that. I want to hop on that point because it's important, because we were talking about it with Laney, and we talk about it all the time on my show, and Steve talks about it on his show. What you're doing is important. So, because you're right. When you said, like, why aren't people saying that prosecutors could be shady too? Why is it always defense attorneys? So that's why your message is so important to people, listening to the pod, listening to your YouTube, following your YouTube channel, which, by the way, subscribe, folks, Defense Diaries and the pod. But like what you're doing, I see it all the time in our chat. I see it all the time on Twitter. Your people come into this a lot of, and us, you know, we know people are following true crime that are following us, right? And they come into these, listening to these pods, thinking the prosecutor is always right, the person who is on, you know, trial is guilty, and then they start listening to you and they start thinking, wait, maybe this what I've thought my whole life, because that's been the narrative, is wrong. And like, I just think it's super important what you're saying, and I know people in the chat, and I know, but like, tell a friend, you listen to this stuff. You are changing minds, Bob, and it's important because that also goes to juries, because these people are going to start to be on juries. These people who have always thought their whole entire life that the prosecution is always right are going to start listening to Defense Diaries, and are going to start seeing you on Twitter, especially younger folks who are on Twitter and kind of on the new medium where this is all being shared, are going to start. And we need that, folks. And I said this on when we had Afi on, because she was giving a different opinion. Like, we need different opinions, and we need people to be open and to listen. And I just think it's super important. And I see it in the chat all the time, Bob, like seriously, like, and a lot of people who are in J-Bo Nation, I know this, are like, wow, before I came into this and I saw Liz in here saying it, I saw Sarah saying it, I see people every day saying it. What you're doing is important, because you're opening people's eyes to that. They're not always right. And you are defending the Constitution. And that's why our country is different than a lot of countries. We have a Constitution that we have to follow, and who is making sure that's done? Defense attorneys. So maybe just stop thinking, when you see a case, that maybe the prosecution isn't. Sometimes they are right, and a lot of times, like Bob said, if they're right, it's not going forward because they're going to settle, they're going to plea. But when there's cases that go all the way, maybe there's a reason they're going all the way. And like, I don't know. Sorry, I just wanted to. I'll get off my soapbox.
Please don't apologize.
That was awesome as fuck.
Thank you, man. That means everything to me. I mean, it's like there's nothing that's more fulfilling to me, like in all honesty, like when I started the pod, than to see like I'd get an Apple review and they'd be like, man, I have to tell, I would have cops leave Apple reviews. They're like, oh, what I saw was some defense attorney. I was like, fuck that. Like, I'm not listening to this shit. But I was like, oh, whatever, I'll give it a shot. And the guy's like, man, he's like, I love your podcast, because it's like, I really do respect police. Like this isn't like, I'm never going to be some police hating fucking guy, because it's not me. Because I understand how hard that job is and how critical it is to the success of our country, because there are bad people out there. There are monsters out there. And we need these guys and gals out there that are willing to put their lives on the line, and they're asked to deal with a lot more than they should have to deal with. They shouldn't have to deal with the mentally ill. They're not equipped to do that. They're not equipped to handle with addicts. And, they're out there, they're trained to handle criminal situations where lives are in danger, or, they're trying to go and handle shit where they're breaking up domestic, or they're chasing bank robbers. I mean, that's what they're trying to deal with. And they're asked to deal with so much more, and it's not fair to them. And then they have to deal with the fact that, society right now has turned, like when we saw it, especially during COVID, man, it's like the world turned against them, and we needed to flip back, not where it's super pro cop, but where it's, hey, you know what? We need to respect these people for what they're doing because it's important to society, but we also have to raise our expectations of them to treat the job with the respect that it deserves. Like Jay, Steve, we know too many good cops. We love Joe Giacalone. The guy's the
greatest.
Dude, like Bill Dorsch, Chicago cop that I'm working with on the Gacy thing. Unbelievable cop. The guy's like a hero to me. Like, and the guy's a massive victims advocate. He's just like Joe. They're like two peas in a pod, two longtime Chicago and New York detectives that are out there advocating for victims that care, that were good cops, that were clean cops. I respect the fuck out of those guys, man, period. And every cop that does that job, I feel the exact same way about them. So I don't ever want people thinking that I'm ever shitting on cops, because I'm not. If you're a shitty cop, I'm going to shit on you. Just like I'll shit on you if you're a shitty judge or you're a shitty lawyer.
Shitty person.
Shitty people.
Yeah, bro.
Right. I mean,
that's been my thing the whole time.
They exist. A lot
Absolutely.
of them.
Yeah, we really did jump the shark with the anti-police thing during the COVID. Like a lot of these states did. Like they've went a little bit too far and it hasn't come back. Yeah. And then just imagine the decent folks that would possibly or potentially become police officers that now won't, because of what you're seeing out here.
Oh man, I mean, it's like, dude, that's what I'm saying. It's thankless. You know,
Completely
it's like
thankless.
you're literally putting your life on the line because,
For some kids to hold a phone in front of you and make a meme out of you now, all right?
right? You
I
know, and
mean,
it's like,
completely
yeah,
disrespect you.
dude, it's a super tough gig, man. So, yeah, but back to the Delphi thing, man. It's just like, as far as what's going on now, like it's not about like, and dude, when I started like
Oh,
really digging into the case and I was covering it hardcore, let's see.
we got here Lauren
The reason,
Doslaw.
okay, the reasonable mistake of Lou can provide individualized suspicion required by the. I didn't see it.
Gotcha.
To justify a traffic stop. So what is is this supposed to be law enforcement? LEUE?
I think so.
Nope. Yeah, no, well, that's what I'm talking about. Lauren does law. Like, I mean, like at this point, like the number one PC that they're using is I smelled burnt marijuana. Like, so there exists no actual, there is no plain sight doctrine coming into play like it used to be, where, oh shit, look, sorry, moron, you left your drugs in the center console there, so now we get to search your car. Now they can just say, okay, when they rolled down the window, I smelled the smell of burnt marijuana. That gives them probable cause. Now, that's very, very hard to disprove. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, as a defense attorney, like it's a really easy thing for them to say so that they have the probable cause for the search of the vehicle. And then whatever they find,
I smelt it.
it's going to be fair game. Yeah, I smelt it. Prove that I didn't.
I smelt it, and there's crack here too.
Smelt it.
Who
I
knew?
seen it. I seen it. So, it's like, yeah, no, I hear you, Lauren. That is scary. And that goes back to, I honestly, when it comes to presidential elections, the thing that Allison and I both always try to tell people, I'm like, what you need to be concerned with is how many seats on the Supreme Court of the United States are opening up potentially, either by retirement or you got a really old motherfucker on the bench who potentially, might die, because those are for life appointments. When you get onto the Supreme Court, and they make the
What's
law
your opinion on
land.
that? Do you think that should be for life?
I don't know.
That's pretty fucking
honestly,
heavy.
Well, I mean,
it's a lot.
That's pretty fucking heavy, dude. I don't know about that.
I was just gonna say, we because it's coming up next week. We always worried about. We're always talking about the presidential election, but folks, a lot of these judges are in your local elections. Like you have a lot of power, and if you're not paying attention, folks might get elected that are now the judges in these cases we're watching. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, dude, Jay, that is a massive point. And like people, and these are people that are not advertising, like they're not campaigning like a normal, like a presidential campaign. So you're just going in and voting, and there's names on a ballot, and you're saying, oh, this guy sounds Italian, I'm going to vote for this guy. And I don't know jack shit about them. I don't know whether or not they're a capable judge. I don't know what they did with what kind of law they practiced. I don't know if they're capable of sitting on the bench. That's an incredible amount of power as well. I mean, you ask anybody, and I'm not just talking about criminal law. I'm talking about family lawyers who are making decisions that people have to live with for the rest of their lives, or at least up until their kids are 18, where, you've got family law judges up there ruining lives based on an hour's worth of testimony in a court about two people that they have no idea about them personally at all, other than what they've heard in that last hour. So, I mean, yes, when judges are on the ballot, maybe do a little bit of research, maybe see if they're qualified to be a judge, because once they get on the bench, they usually stick, So, and again, they have a lot of power. The decisions they make are lasting.
Maybe see if they're in the local Odinist fan club page as well. Maybe check that out.
I mean, I think fucking Judge Gull's got a membership, dude. She might be the leader of the fucking Odinists out there in Indiana. I'm going to go out there, boots on the ground, and I'm going to find out. I'm going to go into the woods in Delphi.
Right,
I'm going to find you.
Are you taking Bob's boots on the ground, sir?
Well, I'm not going to be in the courtroom. I'm going to be out there wearing, like,
in
mud
the
on
real
my
shit.
face, fucking Camo
Hey, Steve,
in the
Camo.
swamps. Where do these
Creeping
owners hang
around,
out? These motherfuckers
doing
out in the
barrel
woods.
rolls.
Big bonfires is what I'm looking for in the woods, folks.
By the way, Steve,
yeah.
me and Bob
sacrifices going
have
down.
nice friendship. Where's yours? Where's yours, Steve? Where's
I
your
don't have
bracelet?
any. No,
Come
I
on,
don't have,
Steve.
I need
Get
a
it
friendship
together,
bracelet.
telling you
Get it
like
together,
it is, baby.
For real. Oh, well, my friend Whitney, who, Jay, I demand that you have Whitney and Melissa on Creators Who Crush. They're great. They're also very, very close friends with Lainey, and they're navigating advocacy podcast is amazing, and they're huge advocates, victim advocates. So listen to their pod, get them on, because I promised them you'd bring them on for that, and they'll love them. They're both super, super great women, and they're out there fighting the good fight. So, but she made this for me, so I've been wearing it ever since, and that was Whitney from Navigating Advocacy. She's a good one, man. So, Steve-O, what question? Do you have any specific questions about? Because, dude, there's so much shit.
Yeah, basically, you kind of just
Delphi.
roll over them as I go. I do have just a lot of notes and questions here. Let me see real quick.
Or if we got anything out in the crowd, man.
Yeah, anybody in the chat. Oh, hold on, I do see some shit happening right now.
And if you're in the crowd and you're not subscribed to Bob Defense Diaries YouTube, because the man is going live, and make sure you have notifications on. If you're following Delphi, you're not going to get better information, folks. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you have the notifications on, because just like today, some shit goes down. Bob's going live and he's bringing it to you. And if you don't have the notifications on, you're going to miss it.
Yeah, you want to know when he's live.
To back that up, if y'all are from my channel and you've never hung with Steve, and Dan's off tonight, I guess, make sure you're subbing to PubliclyBuzzed, because I hang out here a lot. They always have great content. Steve's an amazingly wonderful human being, above and beyond all else. You're like a genuine, wonderful guy. I love you, man.
Thank you, man.
You're funny, and you're like, I tell you, like, your voice just makes me feel happy. Like, I don't know what it is, dude. You've got a jolly voice. I cannot put my finger on it, but it's just like, just hearing you, you've got a pleasant voice. And Jay started a revolution, man. Like, I'm on Jay's show all the time. That's J-Bo Nation. We became fast friends, brothers from another mother during the Murdoch thing. We just happened to meet, tweeting each other, and from that was born a beautiful friendship.
It was all
like,
random.
I love both these guys.
Dude.
Both of them put on incredible content. I mean, Jay's content, in terms of, because he does it with his wife Shannon, and they are very, very women driven in terms of recognizing women who just crush life. So, you know, they have Creators Who Crush, and they have Women Who Rock, and they're always putting some of the most amazing women on the planet that you need to hear from, that you need to know if you don't know about them, that are out there doing the good shit. They're always there. So if you guys aren't subbed to both these shows, change that right now. Follow them. If you're here on Steve and Dan's show, sub them out. Trust me, you're gonna love their content every single time.
Thanks, brother.
Appreciate that, brother.
Love
Seriously,
you.
man.
Truth. It's absolute truth.
We're growing something here, guys. We're growing something special. And the way that we all met was completely random. And I've heard Bob say this before. It was meant to be. Like, it was fate. The way everything is just kind of happened. And I believe that, dude. Like, dude, hold on. Holy shit. I posted this on Twitter today. Today is 365 days. One exact year that I entered the true crime community. I posted my first ever video
awesome,
on
man.
November 3rd.
It's your true crime community birthday.
2022, brother.
Happy birthday to you.
But when I saw that, you know, it was a Facebook memory. I was like, holy fuck, dude, what a difference a year makes. Like, I would have never predicted this.
So, and I'm looking right now, and you have over 860,000 views on YouTube, man. You are crushing it.
Wow.
So over a year, and you almost have 1 million views on YouTube, man. Crushing the game. Congratulations.
That is great.
And dude, you
Amazing
work
job.
so hard.
I do work my ass off.
He's working full time.
It's like,
I'm really fucking humble, but I will take that one. I work my ass off.
you should, dude, because like if y'all are just waking up on a Sunday and you're like, God damn, I don't have anything to do, go to Murder Church.
Yes.
Steve wakes up bright and early, and he goes to sermon with some
On my
Murder
day
Church
off.
every Sunday. You know,
Dude.
dude, it's like, and of course we got Feral Fridays, which is tonight, but Murder Church is phenomenal. Like, I would come more, but I'm sleeping. Like,
Hey,
Steve
actually,
gets up really early.
I want to ask you this right now. So we have 1 week left of the Jeffrey Dahmer trial. This Sunday is over. The next week, I'm going to be starting a new trial. Do you want to come on the first episode of the new one?
Totally. What are
The
you
new
going
trial?
to cover?
Hell yes. That'll be the next Sunday. Yeah.
What are you going to cover?
I don't know yet. I've got some things that I need to actually talk to the congregation about. I want to see what everybody wants to do. So I'm going to probably put out a poll.
On the vote.
My suggestion was Kevorkian because they got the Kevorkian trials on.
Man, that's a great
on
call.
Court TV. That is a great call, and I don't know shit about it. I've heard that name my whole life as like a meme, right? Oh, Dr. Kevorkian, you know.
Well,
so that would be interesting to go
into. It's a fascinating topic because it's assisted suicide for people that are like, I don't want to be alive anymore because I have no quality of life, and they've asked somebody that they love to help them leave this world.
Which I'm actually for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what he did, and they brought charges. It's actually a phenomenal, so that should be on the short list for sure.
That one's in there. And then as soon as I saw that, I was like, holy shit, I've heard this name my whole life, and I knew what it was about, but yeah. And I think there's 3 different.
You want to get some chat going? You want to get some philosophical chat? That's the case, dude.
That's true. Hell, maybe we'll jump right into that one then. Yeah, we'll talk Sunday.
Because it's not just your regular old murder. Oh, he did it. He didn't do it.
It's a little bit
right.
It's like a much deeper conversation. You know,
it's
a good one.
I will say the conversations that come out of the Jeffrey Dahmer trial have been so fascinating.
That's phenomenal because you're dealing with the insanity thing, man, and
it's been cool.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. That one's been running for a long time, dude. What do you get through like a witness per murder church?
Just about. Yeah, it's about. I run 4 hours or so every Sunday. And yeah, this one will be week 23. 23 weeks to get through it.
Man, that's
crazy,
a lot, bro.
Crazy.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
We got Quinn's got a $4.99. Did you see the interview with the defense attorney Labredo?
I did, Quinn. It did not make me happy.
Yeah, that was fucked up. I actually got that one pulled up over here. I'll link that too. Hold on, I ain't gonna play it, but I'll link it.
By the way, Holly Berry and Missy Merriam each giving out 5 subs, folks.
Oh shit!
Amazing! You guys are amazing and rock hard. Holly Berry and Missy Mayhem.
Holy shit! Okay, Gail gifted out one too. I missed this one. Hold on, there's a lot going on out here today. Please forgive me, folks. Give me 1 second. Let me get back up here to Gail. Holy shit! Yeah, there's Holly. See you, Holly.
Yeah, Law Nerd Amber makes a good point. If the audio of the trial sucks, please pass. That's a critical element of it.
You know what? That right there just let me know I have to check now. I got lucky with Dahmer.
Yeah,
I gotta check.
That is a great point.
And then yes, Missy Mayhem 5 gifts. Who's getting those things? Ember Burns, Liz coming through here. Marshall Dove, Glenna Trogdon, and Violeta Casanova. Welcome, folks. And let me hit you with one of these things real quick.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah,
Give me the loop. Give me the loop.
Woo!
Get the party started. Holly Berry, what are you
Y'all
doing,
know
girl?
I can't help but dance when you guys play your money music, man.
Holly Berry, John Lubers, Tracy, Ava, Miss Leia, Mulaney Christ. Welcome to the party, everybody. Thank you so much.
Party, pal.
Anybody that has just become a member, you are going to get. Oh my God, there's still shit going on in here. Everybody that has become a member, thank you all so much. Every two Tuesdays, I do something called Twisted Tuesday. I've been covering stories on killers, serial killers, mass murderers, events that most likely you have not heard about. So that's for members specifically. So if you're a member, you're in for every other Tuesday on that. So fuck yeah, Holly and Missy, thank you for that.
Crushing the game.
And then what did I miss? I think I missed another one here. This chat is insane, guys. Thank you so much. Pookie, member for 6 months. Holy crap. And we always do this.
Pookie.
Happy anniversary.
Hey, not that Nikki, there is a Bob emoji. I've got like half a robot face.
Yeah. No one else.
Bobbot.
Yeah, the Bob bot.
Yes.
Kaylin made that because of my whole terror of AI.
Charlotte Cross.
Don't get me started on AI. We're trying to stay on something like Delphi here. That's Steve. You got to have me back on so I can have another.
You know what? It's been too damn long. That's what the next maybe not the next one, but a soon one will be. Bob back on here with me and Dan to talk some AI, some aliens, and some wild shit.
Yeah,
that's gonna be happening soon.
I love that shit, and it's good. It's good to get my brain out of true crime for a minute. You know what I mean? It's like I need to recharge the mind occasionally. Oh, Charlotte Cross. She's amazing. So we were doing a live the other night, and Charlotte and a whole crew of her homies. And I think, Charlotte, you're in law school, it sounds like. I don't know if they're 1Ls, 2Ls, 3Ls. I'm gathering it seems like they're getting close to getting out. But they all hit us up. They were watching the live from UCLA together. So it's awesome to see her. She's amazing. And she's got a huge Twitter following too.
Oh,
so if y'all aren't following Charlotte Cross on Twitter, make sure you do that.
Damn, Charlotte Cross. I'm going to look you up right now.
Yep. She's a good one.
Hell yeah. Boom, followed. Hell yeah, thank you so much for coming through here. And this is a pretty cool question from Missy. I don't know if I can answer it. I'm terrible at shit like this, but what's your absolute favorite moment from each other's streams?
I can tell you my favorite moment on yours, Steve, is when you, me, and Dan watched that movie from that we had so much fun.
That was pretty fucking fun.
That movie. That was definitely one of my favorite streaming moments.
What the fuck
like,
was
ever.
that called? Marijuana? Was that? No,
No,
that one alone.
It was like I don't remember what it was called.
I don't know what it was called either.
It was something equivalent to like.
We should watch Reefer Madness.
Yeah, Reefer Madness is a good one too. Yeah,
because that propaganda shit that they used to put out, like what weed would do to you, is some classic shit.
Yeah, there's a couple of those, and actually was either going to do Reefer Madness, but I ended up doing this one called Marijuana, and it was from 36 also, man, and it was awesome. It was fun as shit. It was just funny, like. But I've seen Reefer Madness. That would be a good one to do and kind of do. Dude, holy shit! You know what's going to be amazing when we get Bob and Jay and Dan and whoever the fuck else on Kick watching a movie all together.
Oh yeah,
do it, man.
That's coming,
dude.
Guys.
And I'm a massive movie nerd, so
dude,
I'm
me too.
always here for that. I'm like that annoying guy that says the line right before it comes up all the time. Like even in the chat. Like, I'll be typing out the upcoming line, but I do that in real life, except with my mouth, which really annoys the shit out of people. It's like I sit there and watch a movie with my dad. He's like, oh, yeah, that guy dies. I'm like, why the fuck are you telling me the plot of the movie, man? I'm like, I can't believe you just did that, Dad. And he does it all the time.
My mom's dad.
All right, so I got Steve. I've got a lot of great Steve ones, but my favorite that made me laugh the hardest is just the other night. When we were on for Halloween.
That was crazy.
When Steve was doing his fucking leprechaun, like his leprechaun voice, because he was right. It was so funny, man. I was literally crying laughing because he was trying to work his way up to it, like
I couldn't make it,
nailing it, and Dan was just crushing.
Oh, Dan nailed, dude. Dan was amazing, bro.
Dude, his Hulk Hogan was next level.
Oh my god, I didn't even know he could do that Hogan.
Dude,
I didn't even know he could do that Hogan.
It was so good.
Like, his Savage was good. Like, yeah, that's a good Savage. That Hogan was like, if I was turned around, I'd be like, is fucking Hogan here? Like, what the shit?
It was really good.
Dude.
Jay's was definitely, I think probably my favorite, like, where I got, like, there was, and I want to say that it was during Zach Latham's thing, where, like, both of us got, like, emotional. Like, and I think it was right around, it's like, I think that was when Is This the Verdict thing came, like, that was born. But, like, both of us, when that thing came back, because both of us were so adamant, you know, that was just, the kid was not properly charged, and he was just a kid, and, you know, he may have been acting like a kid, you know, but, like, when it devolved and what it did, and they charged him with what they did, and then that coming back the right way, like, that was just a great moment. That was like an emotional moment. Like, we're both like, because I was emotional, you were emotional, because I'm like you, man. You know, I'm a crier, so it's like, but I have no shame in it. There's no shame in my game. I am who I am. You know, I'm an empath, so you know.
I could say I'm thinking about it. I think Bob's for me was your first live stream when you went Man on the Street at CrimeCon. It was amazing.
That was fun.
Because what it was awesome is you're just like going up to Vinny Polita. You didn't give a fuck. It was amazing. He's like, hey, Vinny. Hey, Vinny, we were just on this, like, it was so awesome. Like, all the people you were going up to, I was like, this is fucking.
You know what's so cool about that is like Bob was going up to the lowest level person on the floor and saying, what's going on? And they knew him and they loved him. And then he was going to Vinny from fucking Court TV. He's like, what's going on? He's like, what's going on, brother?
It was amazing. Like, that was
fucking dope.
I mean, my camera work left a lot to be desired, but you know, it was the thought that counted. And I wanted so much to, like, because going into that, the plan was for me to run a live with both of your shows, and dude, that like
That'd have been
number
tough.
one, the signal in that place sucked. Like
Yeah.
beyond, like because it was in this massive, I forget what it's called. It's like the World something in Orlando. So it was like a massive structure. Like my plan was, because I was doing a live podcast and we had a really big crowd in there, and I basically went up there for an hour and just did a live podcast episode, and like I was going to stream it, and then there was zero signal there. So I was like, and then I was panicking because the thing was supposed to start. They're like, you have to start right on time. You have to end right on time. So it's because I tried to start live and I'm like, it wouldn't work. And instead of just recording it, I ended up not getting any of it. But I guess there's audio. But like I had wanted to do that so badly, and I was going to stream it, I think, to Jay's, like one of ours. And it didn't work out. But yeah, that was a blast, man. That was so much
Let's
fun.
hope. I'm just thinking about this. Let's hope Nashville has better Wi-Fi, because we could all three of us go live together, like from each of our streams. Like how amazing
Sweet.
we're together and we're going live. Like I hope
I think it will, man, because I've been there. It's at Opryland, and it's like their Wi-Fi was way better. Like you could actually connect.
That would be
like because I remember I went there for Podcast Movement, like when we first got into the pod game. Darren and I went down there, and I remember their Wi-Fi was much better because this place, it was like just a huge convention center that was attached to the hotel, and it was massive. It was just like, typically in a hotel you're going to have really bad Wi-Fi anyway, and this was like you're adding the fact that you've got 8,000 other people in there all sucking off what little Wi-Fi there is. So, but yeah, I remember it at Opryland that it was way better. So yeah, that would dude, we'll plan some great shit for
I'm
that.
so looking forward to meeting everyone, man.
You'll have a blast. You'll have a great concierge. His name's Bob Motta.
And
he'll make a lot of intros.
one thing I have to do here before I forget about it, we do have a contest. This window. Right
Oh
here.
boy, let's spin the wheel. Folks.
So we're giving away 2 cars. The first one is, where did I do it? Hold on. The first one, I got to go find it now.
I saw
The first one is
Robert Scremen's head.
The very first one is this awesome car that Phil made for us.
Dude,
right here. Look
Phil
at this.
Toys makes some amazing.
He's got some.
Sing it! Sing it, girl!
We get
Whoa.
down. All right,
think
so
As Bob, have you seen these cars? You guys see these
No.
things, man.
dude, peep this thing.
He makes these custom matchboxes, and they're like,
Those are awesome.
Dude.
oh cool.
So we're about to give off 2 of
I
these
guess
bad
the
boys.
natural question is, Phil, where's mine? I mean, what the fuck?
Gotta get the Defense Diaries
I bet you
one.
by tomorrow you'll have one. I guess.
I bet you will.
Custom.
I love when Phil does his like he does like those memes that are amazing.
Dude.
Like they really like.
Cuts
Oh,
those
he'll
videos.
actually do like little clips, which are amazing. They're phenomenal.
He's the best. So yeah, everybody that retweeted that, and Phil was kind enough to throw in a second car, the JBN car here tonight. So yeah, we're gonna spin twice. We're gonna get 2 winners. Let's go. First one.
Big money, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
Hey,
This
no
is for the
whammy, no
Feral
whammy, no
Friday
whammy.
publicly buzzed car.
Oh, it's so close to Adam.
Adam Malone.
Adam Malone.
Well, hold on. I don't know
Cletus.
if Adam's in here, but Adam on
Cletus
Twitter.
himself.
Adam Cletus on Twitter said if it lands on him to spin again. He said he feels bad about taking it because he actually knows it. So
What? All
that's
right.
what he said. I don't know if I
What
should
did he
spin
say?
again. I don't know if he's in
That's
here.
what he said, man.
What did he say? Spin it again? Why?
He said that he felt weird about taking it because he felt like he was actually he knew us, so he didn't want to like take this car that could be for a fan or for a friend or something.
Oh,
I mean, that's
So-
nice of him.
that seemed legit though.
I don't know what to do right now because I don't see him in here, and I was like, well, what's the odds it's going to land on him? But it fucking landed on
Well,
him.
hit the remove button and spin if that's what he said.
All right, Adam, I'm going to hold that to you, brother. If you want one, we'll figure something out, but we're going to do it again.
Wow, that wheel.
I was like, what are the
amazing.
odds that it's going to? I should have put him on there.
It would be great if it landed on him again.
Jedi Platypus, she's awesome.
Hell yes, that's a-
Congratulations, Joanne.
Feral Friday, publicly buzzed, hot pink, dank ass car. All right,
Dank.
and you know what? I'm going to leave her in there. She could win twice. The JBN car. J-Bo Nation cars going to Mind of
Cleveland Rock
Monsters.
is like she's like
Mind of
thrown
Monsters.
under
I
the bus
saw
and
them
let
in here.
to narrate Sleepy Hollow. Man, Delphi just like ruined everything for like all the plans I had.
There we go, baby. Hell yes. Boom. There we go. Well, guys, I will be getting, well, I don't know if I will or not. I guess Phil will be getting these cars out to you.
Phil.
Me and Phil will get together. We'll figure that out, but you guys will be, that's awesome. I can't, every time, I'll tell you this right now, every time I've done a contest and I see so many people actually entered, it blows my mind, dude. Like, that's so freaking cool.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That is awesome.
I was looking through here to see if I saw.
What's the key takeaway, folks? Make sure you're following Steve on Twitter, all of us, but Steve and Bob, like, you never know when there's going to be a contest. If you're not following on Twitter, you're not going to get in on those contests.
Very good point.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll run a contest with great prizes, then never mail them to you. But you're a winner in my heart. Ashley, we were discussing it backstage, and if Carly's in the crowd here tonight, I'm going to send her a bunch of the stickers, and I'm gonna see if she'd be kind enough to be my prize sender out. And plus, she's an admin on our Facebook group, so Angela, this is rigged. You're
Carly's
right.
awesome.
You're right.
No, that's awesome as shit, man. I love it. Now, everybody hanging and banging. This has been wild tonight. Right there. The emojis you need. And I'm going to throw a Kalen up there, another K-Bo just to balance it out. Boom. Nah, this is wild. Yeah, the next time you will be seeing me for sure will be Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time for Murder Church. Again, it is the last freaking week of the Jeffrey Dahmer
I can't
insanity
believe it, man.
trial.
How many weeks was it all together?
This will be 23 weeks.
Holy
which is
shit,
insane.
man.
And again, anybody that, Sunday we'll have a discussion about it. We'll see where we're going to go from this, but we may go into Kevorkian next. That honestly sounds.
It's a good one, man. It really is. It's like
You hear about your whole life.
I love that concept, man, because it's.
I do too.
But you like Law Nerd Amber said, you got to check the sound because that's critical. Like if we can't hear people, that's no bueno.
That's
so
a good
yeah, we
point.
want nice crisp sound. Because did you do the Menendez brothers? Did you do that trial, or is that like in my?
I did.
Oh
Me-
yeah. you
Well,
did.
we watched. We didn't finish. We watched, but me and Shannon did a few of those.
Was the sound shit on that one?
You know what a great one would be to like, it would be a complete flashback some days to do OJ. The fucking trial was so crazy, man.
That would be wild.
That was a crazy trial. It was just insane. And that trial lasted like a year.
Did you watch that intently in 94?
Oh yeah, dude, it was like appointment television. Like I think I was in college when that shit was like every day. I'd get up, just watch that fucking trial because it was crazy.
I remember the teachers in school would show it to us.
Oh yeah, it was a thing, dude. It was a total thing, man.
Today we're going to be showing this murder trial to you, fifth graders. What the fuck?
And like, all right, where's like the people are calling for Scout? Where's Scout?
Where is Scout? She usually makes an appearance on here.
All right, dude. Do you have any more Delphi shit?
Nah, we're good. Yeah, we're good to go, brother.
All right,
I could probably go all night, but nah, we're good.
Yeah, here's my last prediction for Delphi that I think is going to happen imminently. So we got that writ of mandamus that's going on right now, and Gull, like I said on my live, her attorney general in that state, who would typically represent her in an action like that, declined to represent her, and so she hired two
That ain't
lawyers.
good.
She hired. It's nice that she got to hire the lawyers of her choice. That's nice for her. Not so nice for Richard Allen that he didn't get the guys he wanted. But I think what's going to happen imminently, I predict that there's going to be another writ filed, and that it's going to be quickly, and that they're going to be seeking to remove her to get Baldwin and Rozzi back on and to stay the trial while all that's getting litigated. So, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about justice for the girls. I think that they can get the train back on the rails, and if it's going to be Richard Allen that goes to trial, so be it. If something else comes up and it turns out that maybe they got the wrong guy and they realize it beforehand, because ultimately at the end of the day, we want the right guy. And I don't know. Maybe he is the right guy. Based on the evidence that I've seen, I don't think so. But what do I know? Like if they get to trial and they have more evidence that's substantial, then I change my mind. But like where it's at right now, I'm not feeling it at all. And I said that long before the memo. So that's always been my position on that particular case. I mean, we can look. Like I've said it on Jay's stream a bunch of times, and I'm sure I've said it on yours, Steve. But like in terms of, Gilgo, I feel pretty secure that Rex Huerman's the right guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they did some solid police work. It took them a long time when they had that same evidence way back when. But whatever, they got the thing done. Hopefully, they're not going to find additional victims that occurred after the time that he should have been got, had they done the police work at the time that it should have been done. I'm hoping that that's not the case. And like with Kohberger, I think that one leans guilty. I know there's a lot of people out there, and like when you have 2-3 years before trial, people are just going to go off the rails with conspiracy theories and, pseudo lawyers out there arguing like why he's innocent and like not really understanding the process and saying, that this seems shady and that seems shady. And a lot of it's just kind of par for the course.
That actually must be very frustrating for you to see all of that. Like all
So
of those little
frustrating.
Conversations happening in YouTube and Twitter. And
it's so frustrating. It's like,
we lived in that world for so many months before I met you.
yeah, no, I know, dude. And it's like as a lawyer, I learned the hard way early where I kind of I got sucked into like a Twitter debate with somebody and I could just tell that they were kind of like talking out of their ass. And I'm like, man, I don't want to spend 2 hours debating you because you just don't know the law. And then I don't want to sound like a giant dick bag. Like when I'm like, you don't know the law. Like why, like what the fuck are your credentials? Like, why are you arguing with me when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about? So like
they don't come at you
that
correctly.
that guy that I did say that to, I said it in a diplomatic way, but then he left a 1-star review and I knew it was him. I knew it was on my podcast, which affects the fucking, the business that I'm running that I put a lot of fucking hard work into. And it was based on a Twitter war bullshit. And I'm like,
bullshit.
And I'm not trying to ever be a dick to anybody. You know what I mean? It's like I always keep it civil, but yeah, that thing where, you're arguing with somebody who doesn't necessarily know the practice of law, know how the system works, and that's not to say that people can't have opinions. I love people have opinions. Like if we're just talking about that's something that's strictly opinions, let's go. If you're talking about the rules of law and you haven't attended law school, I don't know. Like
Probably
to me, it's kind of a weird argument to have with somebody. Like I wouldn't be arguing with a fucking doctor about how to perform a particular type of surgery. I think you put the wrong sutures in there, motherfucker. What the fuck,
That's
you leave a
literally
sponge in there. You grab their appendix.
that's crime. Twitter and YouTube all day long.
Oh my god!
But your comments on your videos are insane with that stuff.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Like
Angela wants to know when the hoodies are coming.
Yeah.
Contest.
I think that's a good question. Like I'm way overdue for some merch because I got these like dope shirts. Just facts. I got like I think our store is in our LINKTREE, but you're right. I need to have a contest like yesterday. Like if Carly agrees to be my person to mail, because I just hate and it's not because I don't want to send the shit out. It's because I forget. Because I'm like, if you know how much content I'm putting out, you should know why I forget. My mind is always on like, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing? Like where, I'm working all the time.
Yeah,
so,
I can't imagine, dude. You're all over the place. Like you're
a lot.
Dude, I mean, you're covering
not
so many
only-
different things.
Not only are you working, but you're having people DM you, text you. Like you're getting, and I only have a small little bit of this because I'm not like big like Bob is, but you're getting bombarded with messages, and you're a nice guy, and you want to get back. So you gotta get back to the messages. You gotta work on your pod. People are giving you shit about Garcia. You're working on other pods
He
and
still
other
has time
projects,
to answer us randomly.
and like you're on Twitter responding to people. It's so much to like keep
Like-
up, and I'm only a fraction, so I can't even imagine.
Oh man, I
what
mean
it's
the
like.
Delphi shit. When I started like going live with that, and people understood like just how involved I was with it, it's like you would not believe
You don't
how
know
many
behind the
fucking
scenes, man.
dude, out of the woodwork, with everything, everybody that is like followed that case religiously, that has dug into that case, is hitting me up and like throwing all their shit at me, and some of it's super legit, some of it maybe isn't, but like I'm not in a position to disregard any of it at this point. I'm going to look at like everything, because I know that there's diggers out there, and I know that there's diggers that are good, and I know there's diggers that may find somebody. And when shit stinks like it does in Delphi, I'm not in a position to disregard anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like I at the very least owe it to any individual that's going to send me shit to look at it. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I feel bad, like, because I'm getting like inundated where like I'll start a conversation with somebody and then I'll flake off for a minute, and then I'll come back like a week later. I'll be like, oh shit, sorry, dude. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not intentional.
It's a lot,
like, I'm
man.
never intentionally blowing anybody off. I'm doing the best that I can to spread myself very
Killing
thin,
it.
but
whatever, man. It's actually only
know that I
gonna
love
get
everybody in our
and
community.
harder.
I really
This
do.
community is. I'll take this community that we've all started to grow together against anyone's. These are some of the best people you ever want to deal with. So thank you guys so much for like always coming to our streams, always sharing our streams.
Dude, like our mods
are insanely amazing, like brilliant, funny, like working hard. Like I can't pay these folks, and they're doing a lot of stuff, and like they do it just to help us out, and it means everything. Seriously.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild, and we hear this all the time through the community. When they go to these other channels, a lot of times there's people that don't want other opinions, right? That they'll get blocked if they have a different opinion. I hate that. That was actually my biggest thing when I first started, dude. I was like, and I know I've already talked about this, and we're at a point now where we need mods, but out the gate, I was very anti-mod because I was like, I saw on these other channels, people would just, if you have two different mods that have two different opinions and you have somebody that comes in and pisses them off, somebody's going to get randomly blocked or banned for, it's stupid, man. So, and there's reasons to ban and block folks. There's a lot of dickheads out there, but if somebody has a different opinion, that's okay.
Yeah, for 100%. And it sounded like I missed it when I got off yesterday, but Jay had, he had Afi on, and I love Afi. She's fucking great.
She's
and
cool.
She is really cool. She's super, super genuine, super smart. And, she had an opinion that I kind of buy this dude's theory, and I guess people lost it in the chat, and Jay had to give a talking to,
Yeah, Jay Jay did.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what, dude, I'm this, like, I love civil debate. The key word being civil. Keep it civil. We can disagree on everything. I love disagree. It's what I do for a living. Like, but if you're gonna disagree with me, just understand I'm gonna come back at you. And if you're going to disagree with somebody in the chat, just keep it civil.
Be respectful.
Never have to evolve into name, but to always be respectful. Just be kind. You can have great debates without devolving into name calling and just being shitty. You can go at it just in a, like, use your words. Like I give the use your words speech a lot because, it's a good speech to give. It's like, just use your words, articulate what you're trying to argue. And then if you can't agree, which is more likely than not going to be the case,
a lot of times,
because no one changes anybody's mind.
Oh, dude, especially on the internet
battle or on this shit, right? When people are locked in, you're locked in, And if you go into that, but you can put a cogent, decent argument out there for your position and leave it at that. I mean, you said your piece. You know what I mean? It's like, beyond that, what else do you need? So, exactly. Don't be disrespectful to guys. Yeah.
I just want to say, by the way, speaking of mods, we got Stevie Irwin here, folks. I got to shout him out. I mean, the stuff he makes for us is just amazing. Like, if you see some of the graphics on our channels, all of our channels,
yep.
Joe Jackalone too, like, and we're not paying, like, Stevie is putting out some amazing stuff here. And also he's going to start creating some of his own content. So if you're not following Stevie Irwin, you should be, because he's a badass and he's awesome. Just want to.
I cannot echo that enough. I mean, everything that you see on my channel is Stevie. Like, from my opening intro, my movie that he did, to all my banners, I think everything's Stevie. So he's
that new Joe Jackalone look earlier was Stevie, and that looks crisp as fuck too. Yeah, man.
Dude, I mean, Stevie just kills the
man.
game. And like Jay said, like he offered, and I told him, I said, look, dude, you're too valuable. Like you got to send me a proposal because I got to start paying you for graphics just because I feel bad. Like I don't like taking things, I mean, like if I'm in a position to help out those who are helping me, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I told Steve, because he was just putting out so much shit, and like I'm turning around on him, like giving him like 5 minutes. I'm like, yo,
I need a thumb right now.
yeah, I'm like, Stevie's a night owl, so I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, hey, can you get me a thumbnail in like 5 minutes? Because I'm going live. And he's like, dude, I got you. And then
That's awesome.
and he puts like together amazing shit. Like all my thumbnail, everything graphics wise is Stevie. So yeah, and Stevie, be promoting yourself, brother. You're obviously on our shows. You can promote the hell out of your stuff, man, because
Absolutely.
we all support each other and that's how we roll. So when that's going, I want to know about it too. So
Right
please.
there.
Stevie
Bam.
also new bidet enthusiast, Stevie Irwin.
Oh,
Just recently got a bidet. So
Nice.
hello,
Moving
life changing. Anyone that does not understand the magic of a bidet just has never experienced the
wake
magic
up,
of a
folks.
bidet.
Wake up.
Oh, dude.
I gotta get a bidet. I don't have a bidet.
Oh,
Steve.
I know.
Steve, one weekend, so I had messed with bidets. Like if you go over like to Europe, they have them everywhere because they're very civilized there. They know that you should wash your ass after you shit. It's like, it's common sense. Like Americans are savages, so we don't know that apparently yet. But like every year I do like a Super Bowl trip with all my buddies from like years and years, and we always just pick like a town and we just go, and then we spend the weekend together and we just eat and drink and smoke, do whatever we're gonna do. And then we watch the Super Bowl, and then like on the Monday we leave. So this last trip, one of my buddies like brought a bidet that we like connected to the toilet seat, and it had the warm stream.
That's what I got.
Dude, it is life-changing. It changes, especially if it's like one of those weekends where you're drinking a lot.
Having some cheese, Bob.
Yeah, for me, if I'm eating a lot of cheese.
Are these things on Amazon?
Yes, that's where I got mine, man. That's where I got mine.
Good right now.
Rondel.
They're next level. The comfort factor alone changes your life. That's all I'm going to say.
Baldwin live.
And if there's any bidet companies out there that
Please
want me
sponsor
to,
me,
like I will happily do a host read ad. Look at those, they're magical. That looks like the second one there, and look how inexpensive they are.
They are pretty cheap.
For $25, you just changed your life. You understand what I'm saying to you? Look at that. Look at that stream.
Make sure it has the option for warm water. Stevie did not like his that was only cold. You gotta have
cold. Cold is rough. You want the warm water. Hey,
watch out, Steve. You're gonna get a copyright.
You had to block out that sound. Yeah, I'm gonna order a bidet and I'll give you guys a review.
Yeah, I mean,
whoa!
Look, I feel.
Is I just gonna be getting it? Oh shit! Oh wow!
The feminine walk.
We got Steve Jim Ross. We got
the
WWF announcer voice.
Shit! All right, now I'm sold now. I didn't know it came out like that.
Yeah, man.
I'm just telling you, you're welcome in advance. That's it. Thank God Jay brought it up because it's like it's magical.
All right.
Really is.
This guy was happy as hell. Did you see that guy's face?
We're telling you, Steve. We're telling you. I'm not kidding, man. It's going to change your life, sir.
It really is.
All right. I'm getting a bidet. Look for that, ladies and gentlemen. A review of the bidet next week.
It's refreshing.
Wow.
Yes, it is inspiring. Yes, it is.
Yeah, everybody hanging out tonight. We're going to get the hell out of here. It's been an amazing fucking show. Yeah, make sure you're following everybody we just talked about. Sunday morning, 9 a.m., Murder Church. Come back through. Let's hang out. It'll probably be on here about 4 hours every Sunday, watching a classic trial here. So,
but I don't know if you saw, Steve. after you, Joe Jacqueline has and Jeanette Levy. So
That's this Sunday.
I believe that's this Sunday. So
And I was throwing Joe's link in the chat there too. Make sure you're following Joe Jackalone, also the fucking man out here putting on amazing content, dude. I really like his vibe.
Joey Jack.
So respectful and has killer guests that's just popping through right now.
He's great.
And yeah, guys, thank you all so much. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not forgetting something.
you
I
did
feel
the
like I am.
contest. You had that.
I had the contest. I think we're good.
What else did you have?
I plugged Sunday. Jay, make sure you're following Jay though. I was plugging his stuff as well.
guys. Closing arguments on Monday.
Yes.
Adelson.
I'm hanging.
Bob will
so-
be there, and I talked to Afi. Maybe Bob, if you're available and Allie's available after closing arguments, I want to get a panel to talk what we think is going to happen. Afi's down, so maybe we can get some folks together.
Totally.
I'm going to look right now actually to see. Do you have any links already up, Jay? That I can
No,
send
I
people to?
didn't set it up for Monday yet. but,
Okay.
Jay, I think I'm undefeated. I think I've nailed everyone
Do you know what I have though?
on my predictions.
What are you predicting right now before closings? What are you predicting, or do you got to see the
Guilty.
closings?
Guilty.
I
I think they did enough to survive that beatdown that she took on Charlie's. I mean, he just did well, man. You know, like he held his own, and I think he actually did a little better than that. But I think there's enough there, and I think that common sense will dictate. Like, no one's randomly doing that shit. Like, no one's coming up with that like intricate, bizarre extortion plan. I told you the extortion plan was born out of the bump. I guarantee it. Like, the whole defense was born out of the bump occurring. Like, that gave them the idea that they're being extorted. So the feds can thank themselves for that idea being
and
born.
2 more trials that they had to practice. Like, they saw those 2 trials. They're like, let's fashion a story that was 8 years. Like, they've had so much time to like just create this story. But ultimately, do you think the 2 jabroni hitmen who literally on one of the trips shot the gas line and their car broke down because they were high on cocaine and liquor were the same folks that created this plan that instead of robbing the dentist, they're going to kill the sister, the brother? It just makes no sense.
It's so convoluted.
It's so far fetched, man. It's like it's hard to fathom. It's hard to fathom. So, all right, mods, we love you.
Mods, you guys are the greatest.
We got a bunch of mods that mod for all of us. We love you guys. You guys are amazing. We are so thankful. You too. I love you guys.
I love you, dude. I love you,
And,
Jay. And you guys are going to be portaled out of this into Joe Jackalone's Sunday stream. He's got his up. So, ladies and gentlemen, go when you get there, sub up, like that thing, and get it going.
Let's
Love
go.
you guys. Thanks
Love
for
you
being
guys.
here, everybody.
Happy
Later.
weekend.